Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Let me just check the audio once. I feel great to be back on live. Just let me check the audio and video once. Yes, we are live.
Yes, we are live.
Yeah. So everything is sorted. Let's start then. As we are getting more into the war, into the conflict of the Middle East, more things are revealing. The safety needs, the need for a better and reliable leadership for the world, and a need for a better governing body for the whole world is being felt uh, all over the world. Is being felt all over the world. Um, Now, what we are going to discuss today is totally about the war, and I'm going to share my views on it. um, let's start then from the absolute beginning, uh, where we left our last my last video. So Iran is claiming everything and US is claiming everything. Both the parties are claiming that they have pushed the other one back. In that case, I would say that Donald Trump is looking more um, what should I say, ridiculous, more ridiculous, of about doing claims. Um First of all, he claimed that this is not the Strait of Hormuz is not the Strait of Hormuz. It is Strait of Trump. Okay. Then he claimed that Iran is negotiating, and then he extended the period. Firstly, he gave a 48 hours ultimatum to Iran to surrender. Otherwise, the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force was going to bomb the Iranian power plants. Now, suddenly, before the 48-hour ultimatum ended, Donald Trump announced that he is extending that 48 hours uh, ultimatum to 5 days. Now, the 5 days are going to be completed. I think today or yesterday. It was now. I think it was today. It was going to be completed, and now he announces another waiver of another extension of 10 days, and he's branding it that Iran asked him to do so. Means Iran requested him to grant this 10-day extension so that they can figure out something to come up in on the table. Now, all of this seems, and how it just says by the body language of the US president and the body language of his administration, that these are all vague claims. There is no solid ground about it. Let me tell you, uh, the Iranian side, the Iranian government actually um, posted saying that US is negotiating themselves. Now, this kind of humiliation, I don't think in the history of United States any president of theirs have faced. This is uh, and to make up, I just heard that Trump is going to sign all dollar bills. Uh, this is just that the branding of Trump is just hi. Hi, let me take your name. Hi, Crimson. Hi, Crimson. Okay. Yeah. Let us focus. Um, yeah. So I don't think that in the last in the history of USA, I don't think any US president had faced so much humiliation like international humiliation that Donald Trump is facing, and from Iran, from the whole Middle East actually. Saudi Arabia is calling out USA, everyone except one country, and that is Pakistan. Now, Pakistan is working like they always do, where money is flowing, they are going to grab some. Okay, so US is giving them money, calling Asim Munir Donald Trump's favorite field marshal, and Pakistan is doing the work for USA. They attacked Afghanistan. As I think I mentioned that in my previous to previous live session, why the attack on Afghanistan is linked with Iran. You can the Iran conflict. You can check that out. Um, so Pakistan was making Afghanistan busy there, and now it came out that Pakistan is is actually trying to mediate the Iran conflict. Now, just think about it. How much hypocrisy is there? A country who literally harbors terrorists, and U.S. report, the recent U.S. report uses this particular word that Pakistan still harbors terrorists. This is a state. Pakistan is still a safe harbor for terrorism, and still Pakistan is mediating a conflict between Iran and USA. This is genuine Pentagon report, which is saying that Pakistan is a still safe harbor for terrorism. So here you can see the hypocrisy of the U.S. administration, what U.S. Government and U.S. Deep state does. Now there goes Pakistan, the Pakistani side. Sorry. Now there were some reports claiming that Russia and China is are helping Iran through the mission or operation named the Hidden Hand. This also got annihilated because Russia said that they are not sending any weapons, especially drones, to Iran. But Iran is targeting Ukrainian anti-drone system. Now, this anti-drone system was not in Ukrainian military from the beginning. Ukraine built this particular system, this particular anti-drone system after 2022, after the Russian. What should I say? Should I say should I address it as an invasion, with the which the Western media says, or should I call it an operation, a ground operation of Russia, a special operation of Russia, which the Russian news, sorry, which the Russian side is more interested or calls it. Um, Whatever let call it the Ukraine crisis. Okay. um, After the Ukraine crisis started in 2022, Ukraine understood that they need a reliable anti-drone system, because this war is going to be long. As we are seeing, the Ukraine war is entering its have entered actually its fourth year, and there is no even though in the past, in the last 2 3 months, there were some chances that the both parties were going to come a little bit close to a ceasefire. But now, after the Iran conflict and what happened in Venezuela, there is no chance of the Ukraine crisis getting stopped. So this war is going to the Ukraine war particularly is going to get long, and that is why the Ukrainian military realized it, and they developed this anti-drone system, which recently the Western, actually the US military was using against the Iranian drone attacks in the Middle East. Now, uh, why US was using it? Because there are two reasons. First of all, in the Ukraine war, Russia was not only using their own drones. They do have their own drones, but the most cost effective way that they chose was using Iranian drones, especially the Shahid drones. So they used those Shahid drones of Iran, and to counter them, Ukraine developed these anti-drone systems. Because these drone systems were so much optimized to counter those Iranian drones, US thought that it would be a um, good choice to protect the Middle Eastern states from the Iranian drone strike after the conflict became wide. That was the first reason why US used it. And the second reason is the cost. If you fire one Shahid drone, that cost around 10 to 20,000 dollars. But to counter that Shahid drone, one Patriot missile costs around 2 to 4 lakh dollars. So the cost, uh, the difference between these two weapons are very is very 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 ridiculous. So that is why US is was using this. But now Iran have targeted those anti drone systems in the Middle East, and they are destroyed. Now, claims are also reports are also saying that Iran was trying to target Diego Garcia. Now, Diego Garcia is a island in the heart of Indian Ocean. Now, this island is very strategic because this island comes under Mauritius. This archipelago, actually, this archipelago comes under Mauritius, and currently, by the mediation of India, Mauritius, and UK, the United Kingdom, not the United States, UK, are figuring out a lease agreement of 99 or 49 years, so that UK can use this island in the Indian Ocean for military purpose. Now, UK gives this lease to USA, or actually this is an UK dominated, actually this island belonged to UK. There were some disputes with Mauritius. After the mediation of India, this is the current status, that both the countries are trying to figure out a 99 years lease. But for such a long time before this mediation, this archipelago, this island Diego Garcia, in the middle of Indian Ocean, was owned by United Kingdom, and they gave it to the US Navy, actually US Army. US have the previous attack on Iran, which happened, I think, in it was earlier this year, sorry, last year. Those B-2 bombers used in that strike were took off from the Diego Garcia Island, and it is a very vital point of US power projection in the Indo-Pacific region. Diego Garcia is very strategically important for USA, and reports claim that Iran shot missiles, ballistic missiles, towards Diego Garcia. Now, Iran said that they didn't, and US and UK said they did. Not UK, USA and Israel said they did. Now, from the mainland of Iran, uh, Geogarcia is around 4,000 kilometers away, and the highest range that Iran says their missiles have is 2,000 to 2,500 kilometers. So, US and Israel said claimed that Iran was secretly building long range ballistic missiles, and this was the first use of them. They fired it towards Yugoslavia, but Iran, sorry, Iran rejected all of those claims, and most probably, let me just fix my mic once. Yes. Most probably, this wasn't the case how US and Israel presented it, because there is no report other than US and Israel's claim, or any proof than their claims that Iran has such long range missile. They are spreading these narrative so that they can bring Europe into this war, because if Iran has 4,000 or 4,000 kilometers plus ranged missiles, they can easily hit Europe, and to drag Europe into this war, maybe US and Israel are trying to put this narrative. That is my assumption, and also not only mine, also the assumption of many geopolitical analysts, you can see. Okay. If you guys want, I can take some questions now. You can write the questions in the comment section, in the live chat, or I will go forward. That's it. No questions? Okay. Let's move forward. Let's now talk about India, the position of India. Um, India was under a LPG shortage. Still, there are some parts of India which is still facing LPG shortage. I am living in West Bengal, in the outskirts of Kolkata. I am right now. I'm not facing LPG shortages. Oil prices might go up. I'm not aware what is the oil price currently in Kolkata, um, because I have an electric vehicle in my house, so I don't need oil, and I am promoting electric vehicle for a long time. So I don't know the oil prices, even though I should. So I will have to check that. And okay, so oil prices might go up in India, because our oil reserves, even though the government is saying that the oil reserves, we have enough oil reserves in India, but um, this war will go long, at least for the 1 or 1.5 month. I think Israel is not going to um, uh, leave this war so soon, because they were trying to get a US support to invade Iran for a long time, and after all of this, after actually George W. Bush, after Bill Clinton, after Barack Obama, and Joe Biden, finally Trump gave Israel the chance to invade Iran properly, so they are not going to uh, leave this chance so easily. And that is why this war is going to get long, and we have to be prepared for oil prices hike, inflation hike, because if oil prices go high, inflation is already India's manufacturing and other sectors are seeing some damage because of this conflict. um, Now, US And what happened in US, uh, the counterterrorism, I think it was of Pentagon. Yeah, the chief of counterterrorism department in the U.S. administration, in the U.S. Army, he left. He resigned from his post, saying that the US have no immediate threat from Iran, and that is why he is resigning, because this war was totally unnecessary, and we are doing it. But means we means USA was actually is doing it on the words of Israel, on the in the influence of Israel, and that is why he chose to resign. And we have to keep that in mind, that a very he was very close to Donald Trump, and such a close person to Donald Trump, resigning and giving this kind of statements, that puts the administration, the Trump administration, in great scrutiny. Now, yeah, we're talking about India. The oil reserves of India are actually sufficient for 1 month, I think, more. But if the war goes longer, that won't be the case. Russia is sending oil, but without LNG, not only crude oil, we need LNG, we need LPG, and now, which is the most dangerous thing, I think, right? Which I can think, the most dangerous thing is actually LNG. The shortage of LNG. If that happens, then food will be very difficult to grow. And after that, if you talk about immediate threats, that is the the fiber optic cables, the cables which run through oceans, which carries internet. Now, a lot of fiber optic cables goes through the Persian Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz, and from the Arabian Sea. India's internet also flows from that region. So if somehow those fiber optic cables gets damaged, or any harm comes to them, we the internet of India might get cooked. So that could be the immediate, is the most immediate threat that we can face. The threat of LNG shortage, we will face that if the war goes longer, because we are heavily relied on Qatar for LNG supplies. I criticized the Indian government for re-signing the LNG pact with Qatar last year, but right now they are trying to get LNG from Australia also. Okay, there are some comments. Let me take them. Okay, there are a lot of comments. Hello, hello, you. What? Say that. Hi, hi, hi. Don't be mean to me. Who is being mean to me? Okay, let's continue. Yeah. Um, where was I? Yeah, the LNG supplies. Yeah. So I criticized the Indian government's re-signing of LNG pact with Qatar in my last live session, and I still criticize them because you cannot play with uh, the lives and food of Indians, uh, because this is playing. This is just childish. Why would you sign a contract or a pact for such an important ingredient for your fertilizers with a country which resides in a region which is uh, ridiculously unstable in the Middle East, and which is actually a hostile country towards you. Qatar is, I won't say Qatar is a very good friend of us. They captured 8 of our Navy veterans, I think last or previous in 2024, and uh, they actually uh, they have a state-owned media called Al Jazeera, which writes frequently anti-Indian articles. I sometimes quote them while I uh, make videos, because they are just so much full of hate for India. So I don't think that was a very wise decision from the Indian government to re-sign the LNG pact with Qatar, because we have options. We have Australia, we have Russia also. So no need to go in the Middle East for LNG. Stay away from Middle East as much as you can. Why would you like to go there? Yeah, price matters, but safety matters too. Let them. Don't worry. People being mean to me every time. Don't worry. Um, yeah. So that LNG thing, India stance. Should India get involved? Because in the all-party meeting, all the oppositions pressed the Bhajpa government to get involved, because Pakistan is mediating the war in some sense. So should we? I don't think so, because uh, as Dr. S. Jaishankar said, we are not a Dalal nation like Pakistan. Pakistan is getting money for doing that. U.S. Treasury is flooding the Pakistani government, and they are actually warming the pockets of the Pakistani generals to host mediation. We are not that kind of nation which will uh, bow down for money. We are on the side of peace. PM Modi spoke with Donald Trump. Donald Trump actually called PM Modi. PM Modi spoke with Saudi Arabia MBS Mohammed bin Salman today. So we are trying what is in our hand, but direct mediation. Actually, India is the only country who can, but uh, we don't want our hands to get dirty in that. So I don't think so. We will go all in for. Uh, Bye bye, Horma. Um, all in for the mediation. Okay. So I think the current update. I think I have updated you mostly on the properly. I think on the conflict in the West Asia. So if you want, you can subscribe to my channel, like the live session if you do it, And you can follow me on my other social media platforms. Links are in the description of my channel, because I post more opinions on my other social media platforms which I cannot on YouTube. See, okay. So with that note, I will sign off. I think you guys have no questions, so let it be. And Jai Hind.